Thomas Frank said, "Who's Eze?" when asked in a press conference. Now, that might have been a throwaway comment, a bit coy. Can't imagine you don't know about him. But let me remind you, if you need any reminding, he's the man that rejected Spurs and signed for Arsenal. He's the man that scored 3 goals against your football club and confirmed another North London derby defeat.
What do you think about Tottenham?
But forget that with Thomas Frank. Let's go through some talking points in relation to the game. Smash the like button, subscribe, get the creative juices flowing. Let's go. I'm sure Tottenham fans will love this and maybe Arsenal fans will love it. But before we continue, Sol Campbell, can you please do me the favour of reminding us how many goals Arsenal scored against Tottenham Hotspur in the North London derby? That's right, my legend. We scored 4. Personally, I'd also like to point out, for a team that is not entertaining, for a team that is negative, for a manager that plays with the handbrake up, we sure looked entertaining against Spurs, considering we didn't have our first choice centre-half in Magalhaes, who's not only effective in the defensive third, but also in the final third. We didn't have our big money striker, Gyökeres, or the man who was the #1 striker in Kai Havertz. And hey, it still made it happen. And at the time of making this video, Arsenal have the most goals from open play. So which one do you want? Do you want to be entertained? Do you want us to do set pieces? I don't really care. But hey, man, hey, smash the like button. Let's have it right. Only one football team came out there to play football, and it was my manager, Mikel Arteta, and my starting 11, and my subs, and my fans, and everyone connected to Arsenal Football Club. The halftime statistics and the full-time statistics, as much as the scoreline and any sort of stat that comes out of that game, reflects what we know. Total domination. We were street smart. We created overloads individually and collectively. We stood up to be counted. The only bad thing we did was concede a goal. And ironically, the goal and the manner of which Zubimendi's pockets been picked, which led to a screamer from Richarlison, it did have shades of Sar's goal in pre-season. Other than that, it was fantastic. It was obviously fantastic to get the goals. I would say when we made it 2-0 and 3-0, and then the goal just before half time, that kind of sucked the life out of Spurs, and they had no answers, people. From the overloads to us, everything we did, man, the overloads, the goals, the defensive mopping up, not that they had much to do. We were head and shoulders a class above them, and we played with an inevitability and a mentality of champions. It's a shame that it's only November, but if we do that in May, get the parade ready today. Let it all work out. And it's working out for Eze. It's worked out. Let me know if it's still working / worked out / will ever be worked out where Xavi Simons is concerned. Bedino, don't sign these little bow wow looking guys and think they could talk to my football club. Yeah, guy of mine. Does a North London derby debut get better than that? Especially with all the connotations surrounding Eze's move to Arsenal, rejecting Spurs, being an Arsenal fan, and previously in Arsenal's academy. We've been asking for Eze. We know he's got quality. We know he fits in. We're asking him to stand out. The man got a hat trick. He was good in all phases. He was tracking back. I actually feel he was one of those players that I was looking at, like Marino, like Timber, like Saka, like Trossard, that I felt were really purring in that game, people. And to be honest, Sunday's game couldn't have gone any better for Eze. An Arsenal fan growing up, playing in his first North London derby. He's man of the match. He was the best player on the pitch, people. But for us, Arsenal, this was more than just a hugely enjoyable derby victory. It displayed that dispelling any worries about our general play, our ability to score from open play, and that's seen as a perceived weakness. Eze and Cole were central to such, people. In fact, in 2025, only Haaland, Salah, and Mbeumo have been involved in more Premier League goals than Eze. 10 goals, 8 assists, so 18 goal contributions, obviously spanning his time marking the start of his Arsenal career and the end of his Crystal Palace career. Talismanic moments. That's what I thought when we signed Eze. These are the moments he's provided. He did it against Newcastle without getting a goal or an assist. We will remember his assist for Martinelli. And I don't think he'll have a better day in an Arsenal shirt, even if we win anything, people, for Eze. A man scored a hat-trick. These are the things you dream about. But it is a reality for Eze, people. We all know he's playing in a new team, which makes his impact, in my opinion, in a game like this even more impressive. He's already up to speed with the Premier League, of course, as previous statistics have shown, and, just using our eyes where Crystal Palace is concerned. He's clearly playing very well, but there's obviously challenges that come with adapting to a new manager style of play, a new environment, and those shifting dynamics, people. He's now respectfully gone from a team that if they win a trophy like Palace, that's great, but we're a team in a title race and expected at the fourth time of asking to get over the line. Not to mention the increased workload with playing in Europe for the first campaign of his career, people. He's previously started only one of Arsenal's first 5 Premier League matches. He's quickly become a key member of the team, which he's doing his thing, people. And it started against City, and now it's into full flow, people. Despite playing 797 minutes, people, of a possible just over 1,080 minutes in the Premier League for us, he's had more shots with 25 than any Arsenal player. He ranks 6th for the Premier League in its entirety for non-penalty goal involvements, people, and which shows he's trigger happy. He has the ability to score goals, and I don't need to tell any Arsenal fan, we need our attacking players to start bagging, people. When you look at it, as was the case for his assist against Manchester City, many of his best, biggest, and most important contributions have come in open play. Only Enzo Fernandez and Morgan Gibbs-White are ahead of Eze for open play XG this season. He's played at least 175 minutes less, people, than either of them. As mentioned, he's done it while settling into a new team. All 4 of Arsenal's goals came in open play, with Eze getting 3 of those. He's actually had twice as many shots as any other player in the game, people, and twice as many of all of Spurs' players managed between them. He then scored a 0.66 XG, which was almost 10 times the amount Spurs had accumulated. He also created one chance, and it very nearly, and probably should have, resulted in an assist for him and a screamer from Declan Rice, people. He's also spoken about how hungry he is to get more goals. He even said he wanted to do the Arshaving thing and get 4. Mikel Arteta has, not shied away from bigging him up. This is why we bought these players. And when I look at Zubimendi, Gyökeres, and Eze in particular, and all the attacking elements of our team, we're not even lukewarm yet. If the attacking play was if we was making pasta, the water isn't warm yet. It's not boiling yet. You can't put the pasta in, which is scary for everybody, excluding Arsenal. Considering we didn't actually bring in a left winger, although we've got numerous players that can play there, thank the Lord that Trossard stayed, because he's grabbed that left-hand side shirt for his own. He's contributed to 3 goals in his last 3 Premier League games for Arsenal, with 1 assist and 2 goals. He has 4 goal involvements in his last 4 games for Arsenal in all comps: Burnley, Prague, Sunderland, and Spurs. And indeed, when you look at a bit of things further, Leandro Trossard has more goal involvements with 20 than any other Arsenal player in 2025. One of only 3 Premier League players to reach double figures for goals and assists this year. He's joined by Enzo Fernandez of Chelsea, who we play on Sunday. They're going to lose. And Bruno Fernandes. And what makes that more impressive is Trossard's probably the one that's in and out the side, gets occasional starts, doesn't get starts. The last 2 years, including now, or maybe 3, I and a lot of Arsenal fans have wanted a left winger. I still believe that, because I just feel Martinelli and Trossard, if we're looking at you lot to be the men that play for 30, 35, 38 games, we're going to be in trouble. Although Trossard, if you continue to play like this, you look like the man that is the left winger, and it's your spot to lose right now. Make no mistake, Trossard is one of the best performing players in the Premier League, and specific to Arsenal Football Club at this moment in time. Big up Hincapié. You lot know when we signed him, I was gassed about him. Any aggressive South American player, much less a defender, I'm all for that. He's only 23, but he's got a wealth of experience. You've seen what he's done in Germany. He plays for his country on a regular basis, and they have a great defensive record where Ecuador's concerned. He's a man we've been chasing for a while, and obviously we were linked to some other defenders. We had to pivot. Substantial upgrade on Kivior, in my opinion. Stood up tall against Spurs, not that he was tested, but prior to that game, he only had 20-odd minutes of Premier League football. He's had his own injury struggles, and it just confirms the strength in depth we have. Also, big up Double M, Mikel Merino. Got a lovely assist. Someone else did that, we'd be gassing it. Lovely assist for Eze. Overall, great performance, and this is why you need a squad. Let's have it right. Only one football team came out there to play football, and it was my manager, Mikel Arteta, and my starting 11, and my subs, and my fans, and everyone connected to Arsenal Football Club. The halftime statistics and the full-time statistics, as much as the scoreline and any sort of stat that comes out of that game, reflects what we know. total domination. We were street smart. We created overloads individually and collectively. We stood up to be counted. The only bad thing we did was concede a goal. Spurs displayed themselves as a terrible outfit off the ball, and it played into our hands. We set up traps. We would overload either the left or the right, play our way out of trouble. Then on the blind side, we're gone. And it was happening all game, whether you look at the initial five at the back that Tottenham Hotspur played, or, you know, when they made changes in the second half and took off Danzo for Xavi Simons and went four at the back and conceded 36 seconds later. Now, again, that was happening all game, but I think the best way to describe it or display it to you guys would actually be the first goal. Well, the first of Eze's three. This will all make sense to you guys in a moment, but just look at this still image in the build-up play initially, in which led to Eze getting his first goal. Timber and Saka were superb. Trossard and Mikel Merino throughout the whole game were getting into great little pockets of space and getting on the ball. As you can see, it's against the run of play. Simply put, if you're going to play a back five, you need to be solid, and all you're playing into our hands. Trossard's dropped to the right-hand side. He's been involved with Bukayo Saka. Timber's obviously made a run. Keep close attention to Declan Rice, Zubimendi, Mikel Merino, and the goal scorer Eze. And also keep an eye on Danzo. So as I was saying, Spurs are at 6s and 7s. Trossard's found Saka. Timber's delivered. Danzo has come across and headed out. It's fallen to Rice. Eze has struck in. And it's shoddy defending by Spurs. They're at 6s and 7s. They're disillusioned. As I was saying, we were setting up traps and overloads on the left and right-hand side. Timber and Saka are not going to be in the highlights package. Absolutely superb, as was Mikel Merino and obviously Trossard. And again, it's too easy for Eze. 3 letters in his last name. The same amount of letters as goals he got in his first North London derby. It's a movie. So one might ask, what did we learn from the recent North London derby? Not a damn thing about Arsenal and not a damn thing about Tottenham Hotspur. All we know is all we learned, better yet, is what we already know. London, better yet, North London, whatever you want to say, is forever going to be red. We've got a bloody good team with some great individual players. You know, the relationship between Saka and Timber gets better and better every game. Trossard is our best attacker in terms of current form. Mikel Merino is a welcome deputy up front when the game state permits. Hincapié is great competition in defense. And, you know, we were able to get 3 points, and we love a London derby, and the Emirates was rocking and so on and so forth. Now we're 6 points clear at the Premier League, top of the table. You know, we have an inevitability about ourselves. We are performing like champions, but we need to go out there and lift the big ears. There's a fight on. We cannot get too excited game by game. Now we're on to Bayern Munich and Chelsea, and let's keep going. Couple of questions, Arsenal fans. Couple of questions. Does Odegaard come back in the team for Eze, or is that Eze's spot? What did you think of Merino through the middle? What did you make of Hincapié's performance? What did you make of Calafiori and Timber's performance? What did you make of Timber and Bukayo Saka? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.